Alright, hello everybody. This is the second review I'm filming today, but it is going to be, well, yeah, as of today, this is going to be the second one I'm filming. Obviously, all my reviews don't come out on the same day. I don't know why I ever say that at the beginning of these videos anymore. Kind of seems like I'm just puking out old information, but it is what it is there. Funny little intro, funny little blurb to start this video. So today, we are going to be reviewing the movie Bad Moms from 2017, which is one I'd never seen, but I was just kind of in the mood for a comedy and just wanted to see what this one was like. And it actually wasn't too bad. Now, I do like Mila Kunis, so obviously I've seen that '70s show and so on and so forth, and quite a few movies with her in it. She's a really good actress, I think. And actually, I don't think there was a single bad actress in this movie, to be completely honest with you. So there's a pretty star-studded cast um, of female actresses. I don't know why I said female actresses. Obviously, actresses are female. Um, so we have Mila Kunis playing Amy, Catherine Hahn playing Carla, Kristen Bell playing Kiki, Christina Applegate playing Gwendolyn, Jada Pinkett Smith playing Stacy. Oh, that's who that was. I thought she looked familiar, but I couldn't. Jesus, I don't know why I didn't pick up on the fact that that was her. Uh, I guess she's not in a whole lot of movies, though, is she? Um, Annie Mumolo as Vicky, and then whoa, Una Lawrence as Jane, and MJ Anthony as Dylan, and then David Walton as Mike, and Clark Duke as Dale Kuipers, and I believe it was Jesse that becomes her love interest, wasn't it? Jay Hernandez playing Jesse Harkins. I think so. So yeah, I think that was pretty much it. And then J.J. Watt played Coach Craig. So this is about moms, obviously, who I guess I guess there's like it kind of shows like the two types of moms, like the really preppy ones, and then the ones who are kind of living life day by day and always struggling, so on and so forth. And then eventually they just kind of form this friend group and they just kind of end up, uh, in a sense, giving up. Because she finds her husband cheating on a woman or cheating on a woman, cheating with a woman online, cheating on a woman online. Oh my God, cheating with a woman online. So she kicks him out, and he tries to come back into the picture. But when she suggests therapy, he, kind of brushes it off to the side like, we don't need it. Anyway, they end up going and finding out that there really isn't anything to really save in this relationship. And even Wanda Sykes' character just goes, yeah, like this is backcrap crazy people. You need to get a divorce. Dr. Carl was her name. I can't remember. Obviously, she has a first name, but I can't remember. She went by Dr. Carl in this movie. So she tells him that, yeah, it's probably best that they get a divorce by that point in time. And obviously, Amy's trying to be the cool mom, so she's taking their dad's car out now, and she's skipping the PTA meetings, and eventually, Christina Applegate's character, Gwendolyn, has had enough of this, so she starts meddling in the life of her kids in the school, and plants drugs in Amy's daughter's locker. So she plants drugs in Jane's locker, and obviously this, yeah, like wasn't what was happening. And then, oh my God, this movie was just like a whole mess of war between the moms. So I think this was after Amy had already said she was going to run for PTA president because Gwendolyn is just like this pushy, bossy woman who uh, makes it hard for anybody in the school to live out their own life and do what they want to do and run things the way they want to run them. She kind of, I guess, controls everybody in a sense, and everybody seems to be afraid of her, which I don't really understand because they could just they could just tell her that that's not the way things are going to be, and they could just move on and ignore her, and that would probably, yeah, if it was a group effort, I think she wouldn't really have as much power over people as she did in this movie. But at least she finally got some pushback from Amy and her group of friends. But it ends up going to the point where Amy stops caring so much that her kids kind of um, end up, she ends up making her kids like her enemies almost, in a sense, which isn't good because there's obviously a fine line for parenting. Like, she was pretty to a T with everything, even though she was late for everything. Now when she just stops caring, I mean, it seemed like she was doing good with the not caring part on certain things, but then she was kind of lacking in the whole other department of actually taking care of her kids. Like, she was on time for more stuff, but she stopped caring about her job, um, which ended up being a huge benefit for her because her boss ends up offering her more money when his whole business starts to crash without her there, even though she was only part time. She was there every day, yeah, working, even though she was only part time. So she asked for more money. He says, "Yeah, whatever, I'll give you that deal." And yeah, I mean, things kind of ended up working out for her in the end, obviously, because she realized that she was better off alone, especially in that relationship, because I don't think, yeah, it seemed like the dad really didn't care about anybody but himself, to be completely honest. Um, yeah, even though he said he missed the kids and the dog, but yeah, you kind of sensed that he didn't really miss her. And then staying with, he was staying with the girl he met online anyway when he was gone from Amy. So, yeah, like, what difference did it make? Why would he even bother trying to come back? If he wasn't happy, I would have just stayed away. So she has to explain to the daughter that they're probably going to end up getting divorced, and she ends up falling in love with the other single dad at the school anyway, Jesse. So he actually says how much he likes her as a mom, and I think she lets that go to her head maybe a little bit too much. But yeah, I mean, she did do sort of a favor for the kids by being a bad mom because it kind of taught them a bit more responsibility, and I think she was taking care of them so much that they kind of relied on just her in order to, you know, be there every step of the way with everything they did. And I guess it was kind of a good lesson for them to maybe not, yeah, like, you can go so far off the deep end with not caring that you forget what's really important, I suppose. And she started to become a bit selfish, I think, is really the lesson that they were trying to teach there. So you kind of have to find that fine middle ground. Like, sure, you can still have fun and you can still be the cool mom, but you also have to, kind of be disciplined at the same time and, you know, teach your kids certain values and stuff that you would want to, use, right? Or, yeah, that you would want to kind of bestow upon them, I guess, is really the lesson. But I mean, this movie was funny. Now, maybe a bit much on the. I mean, it was like really raunchy comedy. And sometimes it just felt like a little bit. Sometimes the jokes felt a little bit forced, like they were just trying to, you know, uh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes it just seemed like they were trying to push the joke out for the shock value more than the actual joke. Um, so that was maybe where it dropped off for me a little bit because, yeah, some of it seemed like forced comedy rather than just naturally funny. But I mean, I guess the romance aspect of this movie was even a little bit better than, yeah, especially between obviously the guy she meets at the school, and everybody kind of gawking over him as the hot single dad, right? And then she ends up being the one with him, and I think everybody's a little jealous of that. And then she has the party, and she's getting the moms to do less, and they're obviously liking that. But then Gwendolyn comes back with fire on the kids, and oh my god, it's just what a mess. Tells the soccer coach to bench the girl, even though she's one of the better players. And then Jane gets all upset, saying that she's never gonna make it in soccer. And then Amy fires back with stuff, and it was just like a whole war. And then by the end of it, I think everybody kind of realized that Amy was a better fit to be the PTA captain. And then we kind of realized that Gwendolyn's life is not as, fine as everybody thought it was. She's kind of a mess as well, and tells Amy a whole bunch of stuff about what's going on and how she's basically the only one holding the family together. And so, yeah, she was obviously holding her own deep-rooted issues and kind of, uh, pushing that energy out towards everybody else. Like she was using her anger to bring everybody else down, which kind of showed at the end of the movie. But yeah, everything worked out, I guess, for the better. And at the end of it, it seems like they all kind of become friends because of what happened. So, hey, there you go. I don't really think there's anything else I can say about this movie other than that. I did give it a 7 out of 10. I wouldn't really say this was like, yeah, I don't really know if this would be a movie that I'd ever go back and watch again. Maybe at some point. But yeah, some of it was funny, some of it seemed forced. I mean, I gave it a 7 out of 10 and I got 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb. And this was a fairly popular movie because 125,000 people rated it. So, yeah, not a horrible score for that many people rating it, I would say. Uh, yeah, I guess that's really all I can say about this movie, is that it was just about a bunch of moms who just kind of were sick and tired of doing too much and ended up giving up, and some valuable lessons were learned from that. And there was obviously some takeaway for the moms to realize that they needed to, definitely for some of them, connect more with their children instead of totally neglecting them. And one of them needed to stand up for herself more with her husband, because her husband was super controlling and tried to make her do everything. And then eventually, that was Kiki. Eventually, Kiki stands up to her husband, which I was like, oh my god, finally. Um, Finally, you've said enough is enough. Like, there's got to be some give and take in this relationship. I cannot be pulling all of the weight, right? Like, you've got to take care of the kids sometimes too. It can't always just be me. So, I'm glad she at least did that. And then, who was it that connected with her son at the end? Carla connected with her son at the end too. And I think that was pretty much it for all of the moms. It really did much. And then Dylan kind of grew a little bit throughout the movie, obviously, learning to cook for himself. And I think he was having some troubles in school. And I think that was because Amy was tutoring him way more than she probably should have been. And when she stopped doing that, he kind of learned more skills himself. So yeah, there were some valuable lessons obviously learned from the not caring, but yeah, it's kind of weird. It's kind of hard to explain, right? Like in that sense, like yeah, she connected more with her son, but then kind of lost her daughter, but then regained her daughter in the end of it. So oh my god, very confusing concept. Lots going on in this movie anyway. But yeah, 7 out of 10, and I will see you guys in the next review, because if I keep talking, I'm just gonna end up making my brain hurt and going in circles. So yeah, bye bye for now.